Grandma Rose here. I am just checking out here to see how many of my seeds are germinating. Well, not germinating, but sprouting. There's a difference. They germinate before they emerge, so these are emerging. And these are the little sunflowers I showed you in a previous video. And when I showed them in the video, that last video, they were just barely peeking out of the ground. Sort of like these, like that. But I recorded that yesterday, and this is what they look like after one day. These are the same ones that were just coming up yesterday. And there's more of them, and lots of them in all of these different containers. Some of these mammoths are coming up now. And there. You can see here how the soil is mounded up. So there's a seed coming up under that. We know that. If you've started big seeds before, you know how it does that. And you can see, okay, that seed's getting ready to come up. So there's those. And these are the Black Russians, and these are coming up. So these are the sunspot dwarfs, and those are coming up. So I'm happy with this. This is good. Let's look at these things over here. When I looked at this the other day, I had this one plant, and one more was coming up. And now there's a second one coming up in the same cell. Nothing there is coming up yet. But they will. It's a chervil. We've got a chervil coming up in that cell right there. Echinacea is coming up there. And I've got a couple of sages. I'm trying these again. There's my yarrow. After I started some yarrow earlier, I decided to do some more. So there's some more yarrow. And balsam. Have you ever grown touch-me-nots before? These are just flowers, and I just love them. They're good flowers, and I'm growing them again this year. These are grandmother flowers. These are flowers I remember my grandmother growing, and me playing with them when I was little and touching the seed pods and having the seeds fly everywhere, and that's why they call them touch-me-nots. So what else do we have? My tomatoes are doing great. They need to get in the garden. And these are squash and zucchini. I've got some okra right there. Those plants right there that you see that have the stripes, the red veins, that's hyacinth bean. That's going to be ornamental and edible too. I'm going to grow that over there next to my arbor. So lots of tomatoes. Lots of tomatoes. This is a potato leaf tomato. That's a Brandywine. Moringa. Back in there, those feathery looking plants are asparagus. Some little peppers. Some that I bought, just in case. And these aren't looking so good. I need to transplant these into some better soil. I think they'll be fine once they get in some better soil. This right here is Persian basil. That's a motherwort. It's an herb. That. And here is a perilla. Some holy basil. And Genovese basil, lemon basil and lime basil right there. Ooh, these petunias don't look good. I may have to buy petunias. And here are hollyhocks. And this is cinnamon basil. These were free seeds from Baker Creek this year. And back over in there, right in there, are more hollyhocks. You see tomatoes and all kinds of good stuff. This is red clover. It's not the white Dutch clover, not the crimson clover, but this is red clover. This is the one that is supposed to be very medicinal. So I ordered seeds from this, and I've got this going. So this is just an example of the things, well, pretty good example of the things that I have going. What do I have down here? What's down here? Let's look at these. So down here, these are mostly flowers and herbs. So there's Amaranth back in there, and there's Love Lies Bleeding, which is another Amaranth. Fenugreek. Did you know fenugreek is a legume? There's some coxcomb, and this is lion's tail. It's related to the motherwort. So this is the one that has it's a big tall plant with orange flowers, and it's an herb. And right in here in that cup are some geranium that I dug up accidentally the other day. Instead of throwing it on the compost, I stuck it in a cup, and it's coming back. It's doing okay. That was from this clump of geranium right here. And I was weeding, and I accidentally weeded some of the geranium, so I put that in that cup. So this is how my plants are doing. When my garden dries out enough that I can get back in there and get it weeded, then these we're going to go into the garden. And not just in my garden, in this little garden right here, around here behind me. But this is going to go in the garden in behind, over there. And then so other places around the yard, around the property, where I have places that I can tuck a plant here and there. So here's my daily peek at my garden. Now this is my garden. It isn't in the ground yet. It's still in cups. It's still in containers. But darn, those look great. There's some more lemon basil. I didn't know I had that planted over there. Huh. Squash. It's yellow squash. Yellow squash and zucchini, two different kinds of zucchini and two different kinds of yellow squash. And there's some seeds that I got from Scratch Made Homestead, and I don't know, they're in here someplace in the squashes. They were small. I'm trying to see where it is. I don't see it. But they came up well. I just want to let you know that, Leslie. Leslie, if you're watching this, the seeds that you gave me came up well. And they're among these other squashes right here. Just looking at this angle, I can't tell which one is which. But they're there. Maybe it's right there. I'm thinking that small one right there might be it. Because they were little seeds, and these are smaller plants than the other ones. So that might be the seeds that Leslie from Scratch Made gave me. Happy gardening, y'all. Bye, y'all. See you next time, and happy gardening.